Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy, Survival, rhyme person, music making person, donating sort of person, a donor, and event producer person. You know me from Summerfest, which is hands down the best community variety festival on the planet. It seems kind of niche, but you know we're the best. And we're back with another episode of Fest Friends. I want to talk to someone who is I've known for a little while. I'll introduce him in a moment. But the segment here, what we're doing, if you've seen a couple of the past episodes, is talk to participants of past Summerfest events and hopefully some future Summerfest events if we get out of this damn COVID-19 situation. And with that being said, I want to introduce a good friend of mine, big music head, big sports fan. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. Welcome, DJ Eliot Ness.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me, man. And you're right. Summerfest is the best show out there. I don't care about you, Coachella, Miami. So,
That's right, Coachella. Nobody wants that smoke at Bonnaroo.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for being with us. And I think back to when I first met you. So I was introduced to you by a mutual friend of ours. He used to be one of your coworkers, Najib Charles, and he brought me to this place in Cambridge that used to spin. Again, Elliot's a DJ, for everyone that couldn't infer that. The place is called River Gods. Do you remember River Gods?
I remember River Gods, yeah. And I was DJing on top, yeah.
Yeah. And it was electronic. You did electronic nights?
That day was electronic night, yeah.
And I was like, I like the vibe in River Gods. Anyway, R.I.P. River Gods.
No longer there.
That was, I don't know, a couple years ago. Yikes. But anyway, so we, I got in touch with you, and on layering on top of some of the events that we were doing, and with me being a rapper, I was doing everything pretty much solo, like DIY. I was like, oh man, I need a DJ. This guy's cool. And the rest was history. So fast forward to Summerfest 2018, I reached out to you and said, hey, I have this idea of doing this, this festival, because you had been involved with the 2 block parties that I've done. And I was really disappointed because you couldn't be there. Do you want to tell everybody why you declined, like the at that point, the biggest event that I could have possibly ever had?
Well, before I give you the reason why I didn't join that event, which is a really good reason for me, don't forget that I was the DJ for your wedding. Remember that, right?
That's right.
So that
is the ace in the hole there.
Yeah, that was like kind of like the first event that I performed with you, because you technically was there. So,
yeah.
And that was a pretty big event.
That was a big event.
So the Summerfest 2018 on August 18th, I couldn't go because I got married on that day. So obviously I couldn't say no.
Obviously.
Thank you. So obviously, like, I'm not going to say no to that. So, I mean, I was sad that I wasn't there, but I was happy with what I was actually doing. So, but I heard great things, and obviously it kept going because the second one happened. So that's why I was not there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the second one, which was last year in July, hopefully people that are watching had attended, and if you didn't, you missed out because it was great. So Elliot was sort of the house DJ, and we had a great time. What have you been up to since that point that some of the people that had attended saw you last? Like you're still DJing. There's a lot of stuff going on in 2020. So hopefully between July and December 31st of 2019, we're a lot better than 2020.
Well, since it ended in July of last year, so since then, one major accomplishment in my life is me and my wife, we bought a house. We moved in.
Congrats again.
Thank you. So thank God I didn't miss anything big for us. I did it perfectly, so nothing was gonna get distracted. So we moved in November. I did in November, and that's basically the big thing that happened. And then obviously COVID-19 or coronavirus. Also, people say that if you call it coronavirus, it's like, yeah, you're normal. But if you call it COVID-19, it's like, what are you, a scientist? Like, anyways.
Well, I'm a little bit of a scientist, so I think I can stick with the
Yeah,
COVID-19 super technical
yeah,
term because I want to I want to be looked at as a white coat
that's right.
lab
Hey,
person.
yeah, you're doing corporate speak.
That's right.
So yeah, been bought a house, just doing that. I did some gigs. Obviously, I'm a DJ. Everybody knows I do a lot of private gigs. I love private gigs. I did that all the way up to December 28th, I think was my last one. Um, it's sometimes I just decline some because I just want to sometimes take a break, but nothing was really coming in January. The other ones were like for March, April, June, which obviously didn't happen for the obvious reasons, COVID-19. But the last fun thing that I did before COVID-19 hit us was I went to the Dead Mouse show in House of Blues in Boston, and
Oh,
that was
nice. Did
that was
he did he like bring you up on stage and you got to
nah. He
like?
didn't answer my text, but
Oh,
whatever.
what a dick.
I know. Anyways, after so much producing that I've done for him,
Yeah.
uh, so that was the last fun thing I did, which is January 16th, and then just coronavirus hit, working from home. I'm sure you are too, but I am really I'm blessed and happy the fact that I have a job that allows me for work from home, and a lot of people do. And obviously, a lot of people don't have that ability like me, and they either lose their jobs or just are on hold. So I'm very fortunate about that. And I every other day it reminds me that like, maybe bored at home, but it's like just be thankful that you do have a job that you could work from home, which I do. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
the others,
I totally feel you because as much as I complain about my corporate job, I'm not going to plug any new singles that I have or anything like that. But it's
don't be a masshole now.
yeah, exactly, guys. Don't be a masshole. It's I get to spend all day with my family and my young daughter, and work from whatever room I want in my home where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't have to put pants on. Like, I can do whatever I want. It's great.
Yeah, that's been good. A lot of time with my wife, it's good. It's different bonding, which is good bonding. So that's been good. As far as DJing, obviously nobody's open. I can't DJ anywhere. I can't DJ outside. So I've been doing a lot of live streaming via Facebook on Friday nights. And
Awesome.
I yeah, and I
Do you have a name for that segment, or do you want me to like? Because I can.
So funny you should ask because at the beginning I nothing. I just one day I just turned my laptop on and started DJing and it just popped out. And then I think we're on week 12 now and I've done it like 11 weeks. And I think by May like week 7 or 8 I started naming them funny things. So like one of them was like Dr. Fauci's mixtape, Charlie Baker's, like workout mix. I just may name it stupid little funny stuff, because like
Yeah.
obviously I DJ so it can be fun, so people can have something to do. It's not the same, and people have to watch it from their phones. So it's like,
Yep.
but I do it because I enjoy it. So yeah,
Awesome. And I've seen some of those live streams. You got the lights going. You got the atmosphere down there going.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
really recreating, the sort of environment that you want. So, I creep on your Facebook a little bit. I can let the world know.
Yeah.
So one really odd thing that I had seen and I'd been picking up, and I've heard it from other people as well, is a lot of DJs you can't just play what you want on Facebook. Tell
Oh
me
my.
about how you've been sort of restricted from doing what you want to do as far as a playlist or just a set list on Facebook.
It's hard because you and I should encourage this because let's say if you are a big artist, let's not forget. But let's say if you if you have music out there, you don't want you want it to be exclusive. So I get the reason why they block certain songs. I get it. I understand it. It is annoying for me as a DJ because once I'm live streaming and I'm in the mode and I look at my phone from far away and you see the notification. Universal Music has muted this because you're playing their song, and you're like, oh, now I got to change the song. It's like, it sucks. And it's like
Right.
any,
Because like the experience that the audience is getting is like at one moment they're just like, oh yeah, and
yeah, exactly. So it
it's
sucks. Yeah.
what the there's something wrong with the
Yeah. It
yeah.
sucks. And so like the more and more I DJ, the more and more songs I know that it's going to block, I have adapted, and I either don't play the whole song or have to like cut it halfway, or I just have a list of like I guess I can't play this JC song because it's gonna block it. So I steer away from it. So
Right.
it sucks. But like during this quarantine, like a lot of things have adapted to it. Like like e- bigger things like the R&B. It's not open, but it's allowing you to like pay your tickets much later. Taxes, you can file them much later. So why isn't there like a little leeway of like, hey, there's a lot of people DJing from streaming device, like from Facebook and Instagram. Give them a break. Let them play the songs, and then
Right.
after the quarantine is over, put the restriction back on. Because, like I said, I understand, and I don't disagree with it, and we should be happy that there's a restriction for that because it's for us. So
Come on, Mark. Zuck.
I know, right?
So I'm gonna pivot a little bit into some of the things that have been happening recently. Have you put together like a set list or something, like a segment of your live stream for people that are protesting, like things that people might want to hear, like some Public Enemy and stuff like that?
Funny you should mention that because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the protests, the one in Minneapolis happened on a Sunday. And I don't know, I think it started on a Sunday, and I DJ every Friday. So by the time Friday came about, obviously that Sunday I think was like the worst, a lot of looting and all that stuff. And I think that Friday, while I didn't name the set anything like protests or George Floyd specific, but I did make a point to put a lot of like Public Enemy and like I'm not gonna say like black music because like basically 199% of hip hop is that. So I basically made it a point to play like that, to play Tribe Called Quest, Arrested Development, like music like that was kind of like uplifting or for the people. Obviously, there's a lot. There's also a lot that's like I also I'm trying to keep like a dancing vibe, and obviously that music is not 100% dancing vibe. So like I can put it for like 10 minutes, and it's good. It gets the message across. But then I steer away to something more not fun, but like more okay, uplifting. And then not that music is not uplifting, but more like like dancing, like Missy Elliott. And then I bring it back down to like, all right, let's I want to stick it to this point. So I did do that Friday, and so I was happy about that because I was like, wow, I didn't know that I have all these songs and I can actually do that. So
And how people generally responded to all the music that you're playing in general? Like, I know that people on Facebook, you can't quite interact with them and say in this way, like on Zoom, where it's I see your face, I can hear you, I can mute you if I want, and all that stuff. But pretty much everyone's on mute, so you're not really getting that that same vibe as if you were in person. Are people like, yo, that was dope, let me cash app you, let me Venmo you, just like sending you like virtual dollar bills in your pants or whatever?
I have seen a lot of other DJs do that where they put their Cash App tag name. I don't do that. I'm not saying that I'm rich or I'm trying to be bougie. I don't need money, but I do it for fun. So it's like I don't want to pressure people to do so. And the one thing that funny you should mention the interactive part, because the one thing that I do and I stick to it every Friday night is that I put in the comments like request what you want to hear, request what you want to hear, and I talk on the comments. I have like an old laptop on the side because like I can play an hour of music of just my own music and just be in the zone and not pay attention to what's happening here in the comments. But then like it doesn't feel like I'm interacting with people, and I know it's hard because like you don't see them unless they type and you see who's typing and who's watching. That's why I interact with them, and they tell me like, "Oh, play this song, or play this song." And what organically happens, which is great, is that people who don't know each other who are watching my stream are like talking to each other, like, "Oh, I also like that song. I also like that song." And then like I play it, and it's also a challenge for me because I can have a set list and I know the next 10 songs that I'm going to play, and I can cue them up and beat match perfectly. But if I'm playing Alicia Keys, and then someone requests, "Oh, play bye in sync," I'm like, all right, now I got to play after this song. So it's a challenge. Like, how do I transition from Alicia Keys to in sync?
Yep.
And it happens, and that's the fun part about it, because like it's not perfect, but I'm reacting, like it's like you feel like you're talking to me, and you're like, "Oh man, he played my song,"
Yeah.
So
and I imagine, I mean, that's one of the best parts of being a DJ, because otherwise you're
you're
just
Pandora.
you're Pandora. You're putting a
Yeah.
playlist together, and you press play, and you
Yeah.
you can turn around and have a drink and go eat dinner. And
no disrespect to those who don't pay attention to the comments and do their own thing. No disrespect. But I purposely do that so I can interact with people and like talk to them and like play what they want to hear.
yeah, awesome. So more current events. Obviously, you're a big sports fan. I know you. What are you missing out there as far as the sports that aren't being played? And
One thing that I've noticed since all this live stuff has stopped, I've now watched less TV, because I've noticed that I watched a lot of live sports or just live events. Specific and talking about sports, I love baseball. I think baseball is the greatest sport of all time. Let's argue. I don't care. I'll give you my number. We can argue back and forth. Whoever's watching, I think baseball is the best sport.
His number is 617-555-5555.
Text me whenever you want. And I'm glad that basketball is coming back at the end of July. I'm glad that NASCAR has been back for a while. I'm glad that the European soccer is one of them. German has come back. The other ones are coming back.
Bundesliga, right?
Yeah. And no fans, and I'm fine with that. Like I've come to terms that, okay, no fans. Like I just want to see the sports. I just want something to keep. Like I just want something live that's the entertainment that I used to watch.
What do you think of the like how the players are going to react to the no fans thing? Because like a lot of what a lot of the hostility of going into an away game is just people like snarling in the stands and maybe throwing stuff and like hurling just bad words and all that stuff. If it's gonna be like whisper quiet, do you think they'll like pump in some like faux crowd noise, or how do you think that's gonna go?
Let me ask you this: you played basketball in your youth, and not that you're old now, but you played 21. You played pickup 5-on-5, right?
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s. You have to throw it out there for everyone. You didn't have to do that.
But you play organized basketball, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't been a crowd. It's just total silence, and you still play it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, sometimes there are there are people that are like, yeah, I got next, and then they're like sizing you up, and they might say a little something. You're like, yo, your Jay's whack. Oh my God. Okay.
So while I do think yes, it will play into something, because it's different when Steph Curry's shooting those threes, and the whole Oracle Arena is going, he feeds into that. So if he were to do that now when there's nobody in the stands, what would he do? Would he feed into that? And I think it will hurt them, I think, at the beginning, but I think they're athletes enough that they will adapt after a while. They're like, all right, this is not for the fans anymore. This is like real street ball. So it might turn into that, where it's like, all right, I know no one's here, but I'm just going to show you up. They're going to focus more on the game. There's no fans. There's no media. There's nothing that they have to do. So they're focused on the game. So they're specifically talking about basketball. I think you're going to find out who are the most focused players and who are more like, I need the distraction. I feed into that. And I'm happy that basketball is coming back. And I hate that baseball is playing this game back and forth of like,
oh yeah,
no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that, because it's not even about safety anymore. They agreed about the safety protocols like a month ago. It's all about the money now. So it's like, all right, if it's about the money, like it's so what's the deal? You're playing less games. There's no fans. you make your money based on the amount of fans that go. That's a big part of your money. There's no fans. What do you expect?
Right.
So
Right.
at this point, I just want the sport to come back. I just want to watch live sports, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Before we get into this game, so NBA was coming to a close. I don't know if you follow the NHL at all, but it was
I
coming to a
do.
close,
I
and
do.
the playoffs were going to happen, and there were a lot of things that really got uprooted. And the NCAA tournament never happened, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of cool things. So I'm sort of going to ask you in order, like, who do you think had the best chance of winning each title? Let's start with the NBA before COVID-19 and after, and the same thing with NHL. And they're not gonna do they're not gonna do college basketball anyway. But just for S and G's, what do you think? Who was gonna win that?
So I'll answer the basketball one first because I
Yep.
actually had conversations with my friends back and forth. Before COVID-19, to me, it was looking like the Lakers and the Bucks. Yes, number one team on either side,
Mm-hmm.
but it was looking like them too. Now, post COVID-19, I think that the younger players are going to be less affected by this as opposed to the older players or older teams because they may need more time to ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not. Well, let me ask you a question. I think the Lakers probably would have won it pre COVID-19, but now I would not be surprised if like a crazy team like Denver or like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the Sixers make it to the finals and shock everyone. Those
Mm.
people, those like they're kids. They're like 21, 22.
What
They
about
barely had any.
What about the Nets? Have you heard about how
If
interesting that would be?
well, Kevin Durant already said he's not going to come back.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving missing, but
Well, I mean, if Durant's not going to play, then there's nothing to talk about.
But if he could, he can come back. He's choosing not to be 100% healthy, but he's probably 98% healthy.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if someone like the Nets would have just made it to the NBA Finals.
Right.
So I would say, let me just give you my winner. Past core.
Yeah, sure.
I would say Denver Nuggets.
Okay. Denver. Interesting pick.
Yeah.
Now let's play the before and after game a little bit with NHL. What do you think about?
The Bruins were number one.
Yes, and that hurts me so bad.
That hurt a lot.
Man.
They were number one.
They were going to win.
Now they're not gonna do. They're gonna go right straight to the playoffs, and there's more teams.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything,
24 teams.
Yeah.
Right?
But if anything, hockey is the one sport that home field doesn't really matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if because of the crowd noise or whatever, but they always go to like 6 or 7 games. It's always so odd. So while I want the Bruins to win, I feel like they're a little bit like older, not old, but older than the other ones. So I wouldn't. They're gonna go far. They're gonna make it somehow, but I wouldn't be surprised if what's the other team? Tampa Bay comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair. That hurt my heart a little bit to talk about that, but yeah, it'll be interesting when everything comes back because I'm really interested to watch. It's gonna be. I'm telling you, man. 2020. It's. I think I heard a meme or something like that. It's like someone feels bad for a lot of the kids that have to take history class in 5, 6, 7, 8 years because the 2020 chapter is going to be a long chapter.
Yes,
it's going to be long. And what are we in? We're June 11th. Like we're not even halfway done with the year. Like there's still going to be more. Shitstorm with the election and all that stuff. And,
oh my God, that's another one in November. Yeah,
COVID's not done yet. So, in any case, let's bring the mood back up, and we're gonna play a little game. I think I explained it to you a little bit earlier when we were off camera, but I'm gonna explain it to you again and the audience. It's really really easy. It's called Would You Rather. It's sort of like a pick'em game. I'm gonna give you a couple of different scenarios, and then you tell me what would you rather do as my wife walks by, And you can see her head there. Hello, everyone. Well, she's involved with Summerfest too, everyone. She's the co-founder. She can do whatever she wants. She runs the household. And
That's right.
yeah, just tell me why you picked it. All right?
Okay.
So there's going to be 5 different, let's call them, questions. And number 1 is, would you rather work out with Charlie Baker? Little callback to your Facebook. Would you rather work out with Charlie Baker or have dessert with Christie?
I'd rather work out with Charlie Baker.
Okay.
I feel like eating anything with Christie, he's gonna eat your stuff. He's
true.
Gonna be like, "Are you done with that? You
Now,
want that?"
do you think that Charlie Baker would come suited up to the workout, or would
I
he?
feel like Charlie Baker would wear shorts with high socks and like a button up.
Got it.
and
Got
just
it.
and just
I'm gonna have to make sure that Charlie doesn't see this. Charlie and I go way back, and we're pretty tight. But yeah, I'll have to cut out this segment from
just for
his.
him.
All right, so you would rather work out with Charlie Baker, which I probably would too. Number 2, maybe another little callback to your personal life. Sorry for divulging a little bit too much. Would you rather have your wife cut your hair forever, or have your wife dye your hair forever?
Well, the first one, because if we would have done this 3 weeks ago, my hair was like 2 inches long, and she cut it. So
And it
it
looks
turned out
clean.
well. It's grown, but she cut it, and
she did a good job.
She did a good job. So by default, I have to go with that one.
Nice. You wouldn't want like any like frosty tips on the 2-inch hair like poking up, or?
No comment.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, I am not Nick Lachey.
Okay. Number 3. Would you rather watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air every day, or listen to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince albums every day?
Come on, man. I mean, I feel like me being a DJ, I kind of have to pick Jazzy Jeff, but I also love the Fresh Prince, and it gives me Jazzy Jeff.
That's true. That's true. He gets thrown out in every episode he appears on.
I will. Oh my God, I have to go with Jazzy Jeff just because I have to go.
So you'd rather listen?
I'd rather listen because
Okay.
I'm a music guy, and I'm gonna enjoy both. But I feel like if I can only pick one, I have to go with Jazzy Jeff.
All right, awesome. All right, number 4. You might not like this one.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather wear a Boston Red Sox uniform at Fenway Park, or wear a Red Sox uniform at Yankee Stadium?
I have to go with the first one because while both of them are embarrassing, it will never happen. I'd rather pretend that I'm a fan at home court than pretend that I'm a fan at the enemy's base.
That's probably prudent. Yeah.
So
probably.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like, no, I'm actually a Yankee fan, even though I'm wearing a David Ortiz jersey.
Yeah. Oh, I lost the bet. Oh, I don't know. We were playing this game called Would You Rather, and I just took it too little bit. I've never been to Yankee Stadium ever.
Okay, so this is where we're going to end the meeting real quick. Let's press
so just a quick story before I get to the 5th one. So, I was in New York with a bunch of friends in I don't even remember the year now. I want to say it was like 2006, and we were there for the day. I think we were going to sleep over in like New Jersey or something like that. And we were like, oh, let's check the schedule and see if there's a game on the schedule. Like, I'd love to just go in there because they were going to tear it down and build a new one anyway. So I think the my timeline is right. Anyway, so this was like sort of pre us Googling everything, and like Google existed, but I didn't like we didn't do it, and we just didn't have like the internet at our disposal like we did. So we went over to the box office, and everything's like buzzing. And we didn't really know why. And so we get up to the counter, And we're like, yeah, how much would whatever 5 tickets be? And the dude said some like absurd number, and he's like, "Oh, I think we have 5 together, and they're like $800." I'm like, "What? They're playing the White Sox? What are you talking about?"
Wow.
And he was like, "Oh, well, A-Rod is stuck on his 599th home run."
Oh,
So like everyone was going to every game, and like they were super expensive. And we were like, "Oh no, I mean, I guess I'll just." I don't know. I guess I'll just go to Soho and have a sandwich. I don't know. I'm definitely not going in there.
Wow.
Anyway, all right. So here's number 5. Would you rather get punched by Michael Jordan at practice, or would you rather get punished by Ruth Ned Odor for sliding too aggressively into second base?
I seen Odor clocking Bautista.
Yeah, he's got a mean right hook.
The reason why I'm gonna go with Jordan is because he most likely punched you, Steve Kerr, because you were doing something wrong and he's trying to correct you and he loves you. So I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan.
That is tough love. So you're gonna go with Jordan because he punched you because he loves you. That's sort of the logic.
As weird as that sounds, yeah.
All right, and there we have it. Elliot, he would rather do all of those weird things, ladies and gentlemen. As we wrap up this interview, I want to thank profusely DJ Eliot Ness for being a good friend. I mean, I've lost count of how many like events we've done together because we've done so many.
A lot.
It's been a lot, from like you mentioned, the wedding to the festivals and all of the when I was trying to
breweries, Summerfest,
breweries, and like when I was trying to get this event production thing like off the ground, and you were always there to do it. So I want to thank you so much for being on Fest Friends, and for everyone who has no idea where to find you and to find like how to watch your wonderful live streams and stuff like that. Can you tell them exactly how to hit you up on social?
Of course. DJ Eliot Ness, all no underscore, nothing. DJ Eliot Ness, Eliot with 1 L and 1 T on Instagram. On Facebook, just Eliot space Ness. It's not my personal page, but it's like an artist page where I post all my content there. Eventually that's kind of where I wanted to do my live streams, but I do it now on my personal page because obviously most of the people that I know or my friends are not on that other page, so it's kind of hard to steer them there. But hey, if you want to request me as a friend, go ahead. Eliot Mello on Facebook, and that's where I'm currently doing the quarantine live streams. But when it goes to normal time, anything DJ related, Eliot Ness or DJ Eliot Ness on Instagram, that's what I put. Everything that I do, every single gig, however big or small, I put my content there. Content, videos, pictures, mostly videos. I do have Twitter. Don't use it that much. It's the same. DJ Eliot Ness.
Sorry, Jack Dorsey. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't use it as much, but yeah, that's where you'll find me. Or you'll find me behind, Survival and turntables.
Yeah. And I'll put all of your social like at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yep. It's going to look awesome right there. I'll try to make it follow your fingers. And where can, I'm sorry, what time and what days, because we're not going to be out of this COVID thing anytime soon. So what time and what days, generally are you?
I've been doing it every Friday, and it's always after 8 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time for those in Nepal who's watching me. It's always after 8 p.m. because it's darker. It's more calm in my home. After 8 p.m., between 8 and 9, I always start. And if you do request me as a friend, I always put the notification in. I don't push a notification. It's just you'll just see it, and that's when I do it. And I jam out until the phone battery runs out. And take requests, whatever you want to hear. I put my dancing lights on. Sometimes I bring my dogs. I drink a beer. Just have fun.
All right. Awesome. So everyone, please hit up Elliot and follow him, and grab a brew, grab your dog, and have a good time on each and every Friday at roughly 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If he happens to have a shiner for some reason, it's because Michael Jordan punched him in the face for not doing what he was supposed to. And on that note, I want to, again, thank DJ Eliot Ness for being here. And we'll see you next time on Fest Friends. Take care.